how he represents his team is like one of the best attitudes we've ever seen in the League of Legends. And he's just so willing to learn, so willing to take criticism, and then puts it into his gameplay and just proves people wrong on the Rift. It's beautiful to watch.
And to think that he's been around for so long as well, and he's still got it. Season 1 world champion Xpeke makes his own team, huge risk. And like you guys were talking about, his mentality. I love when you're setting goals for yourself, don't set them too high because you set yourself up for failure, but then you exceed that, and then you set a new one immediately. A lot of people don't set a new goal, and they celebrate too much, and they slack off a little bit. I think that's what happens with some of the teams, even here at Worlds. They just wanted to make it, and they didn't set that next goal and get motivated again.
And here they are, 4-0 in the group, and now expectations are high. You know, I think that now it kind of comes to that point where they've been able to ride the wave of the underdog this whole way. But do things change here? When coming down to the wire, there's a lot of pressure on their next 2 games. They need to pick up this win against LGD in order to afford themselves that buffer of whether or not they drop a game to KT, they can still force a tiebreaker for that first seed.
But they seem genuinely surprised. Like, they're like, wow, we were able to make it this far. How much further can we keep going? So they have the perfect mentality for this because it's one step at a time. As you said, it's just like, okay, next game, next game. So I honestly think that they're going to go into this game with absolutely nothing to lose. They've already qualified, and then just see if they can blow another team out of the water. Why not?
And at this point for LGD, it's spoiler time. So with that, gentlemen, it's time for the predictions. We're going down the line once again. LGD versus Origen.
Obviously, I have to say Origen. Like, I'm just thinking, like, the big game where, like, would LGD make a change? They gave up this composition, like Mordekai's Lulu, which happens as often as maybe stars fall or something. I was thinking, like, oh, we should make a wish or something like that. But I think Origen's going to take it.
All righty.
LGD don't even have a chance to play Kaboom this tournament. Like, they're just out of it right now. And I think that that will continue through, and that Origen will continue to ride this momentum and hype train and will continue to do great things.
Yeah, I definitely think so. This is the game that started it off for Origen, started them on their trend upward, and put LGD on the downward trend where the double TP came out. Everybody saw how to exploit them. I feel like Origen are just going to do more of the same here and continue to take it to LGD. And their mentality, just polar opposites right now.
Well, with everyone on record, it's time to step inside the venue and get into game.
Thank you very much, Dash. Hello, everyone. I'm Rivington Bison III, along with Joshua Jat-Leesman and Martin DeFiscio, along as we make a quick caster lane swap here for the second half of the day. And still things to be kind of pulled out of the day. Yeah, seeing if LGD can get this win in. We have to remember the last time these teams played against Origen, it was a 43-minute slugfest, 35 minutes. It was still 51,000 apiece until a Wombo combo.
It was close, but we also have to keep in mind LGD managed to look much worse in their first game today than they did while going 0-3 in the first half of the group, and Origen looked very solid against TSM. So the biggest fear here for Origen would just be temporary complacency, and it's what I like to call a trap game, because they know there's this impending tiebreaker matchup with KT that if they lose, they force a tiebreaker at both being 5-1 in the group. So if they don't take care of business here, they kind of lose that opportunity.
LGD is one of those teams, though, where you don't disrespect them. Even though they're 0-4 in the group and they have looked very, very weak so far.
That's true.
It's still LGD. It's a team a lot of players respect. They looked at them during the season. So I think Origen can just go in, play the same game they've done before. They're on blue side as well, so you can target ban TBQ, which they like to do. And that makes it even worse for poor little TBQ in the jungle.
It's been tough for LGD. You heard Imp earlier saying we kind of